Hi there, it's Kate again from Cedar and String. This is part 2 of a 2-part video series on the different paper types we have available at Zazzle. If you didn't watch the first one, we went over the difference between standard paper sizes and our budget paper, including the quality of the paper, the thickness, things like that. This video covers more of the high-end papers and the different quality and finishes that we have on those higher end papers. Zazzle is not like Etsy, where on Etsy the artist is going to print them and cut them and send them to you. At Zazzle, we are independent designers. We create the artwork that you see on the front and the design on the front, and then Zazzle does all of the printing, manufacturing, and shipping. So a lot of times customers will message me and they want to know the quality of the paper or things like that, but I don't purchase the paper, I just make the design. So I went and ordered several copies of my own products so that I could make these videos for you and show you the different types of papers that we have. So in addition to our standard papers, which I talked about in my last video, we also have a couple of Zazzle signature papers. So for comparison, this is our standard matte card. This is the standard card that most people get for everyday, Christmas cards, bridal invitations, things like that. It's really great. It's nice, high quality paper. It's really thick, and you can watch the last video to get information on that. But for comparison, I want to give you, this is our basic price comparison and our basic shape and size comparison. All these papers come in 8 different sizes, from really small up to the kind of long, skinny ones. They also have different corner styles and shapes. There's rounded, there's scalloped, things like that. So keep that in mind when I'm going through these. I just have straight edges to show you for consistency. So this is our standard. It's very smooth. It's very much like a card you would expect to get. But our higher end signature and premium papers that I'm going to talk about in this video are more for fancier, more formal occasions, weddings, things like that. So this is for comparison. So the first one we have, the first signature paper is what's called laid. And you can, so I'm going to try to zoom in here to see if the camera will catch it. There it is. You can see it has a little bit of this sort of laid column look across to it. It's slightly textured. It's a very soft white, slightly ribbed. It's very sort of a bespoke feel, kind of feels like handmade paper. Right? It's very, very nice, and it's that way on the front and the back. So this particular design has a color on the back. So I wanted you to see what it would look like if there was a color. So you can still make out the little columns on that. All right, this cost about 60 cents more than our standard paper. It's a little bit different in feel. It's actually technically thicker, but it's lighter. This is a 120-pound paper. This is 100 pounds. So if I kind of hold them sideways, actually, what's the best way to do this? Like this, and kind of flop, you can see that it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more delicate than that. So it's a really nice. It's very, very textured. Oh, there, you can get a good look at that texture right there on there. You can kind of run your finger across it and feel it. Right. Now there's another one like this that has horizontal lines. I did not purchase one of those to show you because it's literally the same, but the lines go horizontally, and it's not quite as popular as the vertical columned one. So that's why I did this one. So this is our laid paper. And then our other signature style is this felt white. And again, I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see that by comparison with the laid, you can see the very different textures on those. So I'll put the laid next to it. See the difference in the textures? The felt is on the top there. It has a little bit more of an embossed, sort of a woven finish, as opposed to the columns. It's really velvety. It's very white. The print is very white. You can see the difference in the prints there. This one has more of a handmade look. This one has more of a brilliant white, very, very sort of embossed feel to it. And again, it prints on both sides, and this just happens to have a solid color, but it would print pictures or anything just as nicely on the back, but it is somewhat textured. All right, so this is about 50 cents more. So the laid is about 60 and the felt white is about 50. Now this also comes in ecru, which is sort of a creamy colored, and I didn't purchase that because again, it's exactly the same, but it's not as popular. It's real sort of off-white ecru color, but it's the same weight and consistency as this paper, and there you can get kind of a nice look of how thick it is. Really nice thick paper. So those are Zazzle's signature papers. And then after that, we also have some premium papers that are really very elegant and sort of a lot fancier. And the first one is craft. And I know you might not think of craft as a premium paper, but this is a real outdoorsy. It has sort of a DIY feel to it. It has a nice texture to it. You can see the little paper. It has a real handmade look, but it's not, it has a textured look, but not a textured feel. It's very smooth. So if you have a design that you're printing, you're not gonna run into any problems with the texture interfering with the artwork. So this is really good if there's no color or background color. Like we had the background color on these here. This background blue wouldn't print very well on a craft paper because it's going to adjust the color, obviously. And when you pick these, when you're shopping, you can see in real time what it's going to look like. So you would see right away, hey, that's kind of look kind of weird on the brown, but it is nice brown. So if you have sort of an outdoorsy event, kind of a DIY, sort of rustic, all natural feel, then this craft paper is a really good choice. It's about 50 cents more than our standard paper as well. And again, it's the same sort of 100 pound, a little bit lighter. It's actually lighter than the felt paper, and then you can see the thickness there. A little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, but it has a real good rustic feel to it. And that's craft paper. Our other premium paper is our linen paper. This is very nice, elegant, traditional, very much if you want a subtle wedding, but you want it to be formal, but you don't want to go to the very top of the line, which is our ultra thick paper. This is really nice. It's 110 pound paper. It's 12 and a half thick, so it's really nice, good thickness to it. It's about 40 cents more than our standard matte cards. It's got a nice matte finish, but it has a really soft, like a linen, almost a linen texture to it. Nothing to see, but a very slight feel in difference. It just feels elegant. It just feels fancy. This feels very traditional and standard. This feels very elegant and fancy. And it does, again, print on both sides, but just so you can see how nice this dark navy blue turns out on this paper, it is really just absolutely beautiful. So following that same style, we have the ultra thick. So this is our most expensive paper, the ultra thick. It's about $1.40 more than the standard than our standard cards, but as you can see, it's a lot thicker. I mean, the thickness, it's 32.6. It's 240 pound paper, where our standard paper is about 120. It's 240, so it's twice as thick, and you can actually see that thickness. Look at that, so nice. And again, prints nice on both sides. This just happens to be single solid color, but it could be a pattern back here. It's gonna look beautiful no matter what you put back. Very thick, very premium paper, very high end, extremely luxurious. It's has a sort of silky feel, but it's still matte. Like it's uncoated, so you could actually write on this if you wanted to, but it's still silky. It's hard to explain. But it's beautiful paper, high-end quality, top of the line paper. There's nothing drab about this whatsoever. If you have a formal wedding that you're planning for, I highly recommend this ultra thick paper. All right, so far we've done our linen paper and our ultra thick in this section. Now let's talk about the shimmers. Zazzle has 3 different kinds of paper that have sort of a shimmer to them. We have pearl shimmer, champagne shimmer, and metallic silver shimmer. So let's take a look at them. Now these are, again, premium papers. This is back to that 110 pound though, so it's really more like a standard greeting card feel to it. If we compare it to the thick one, you can see quite a difference in that. So it's more like just our standard size, 110 pounds. Very smooth. Now it's pearl, so it's white, but it's a white hued, and it's a little hard. I think my light in here is okay to give you an idea. It's not bright white, but it's also not like champagne, as you'll see the difference here when I put this other one up. It's got a nice shimmery texture to it, but it doesn't have any sparkles or anything like that. It's just real shimmery. It's very glossy on the front, so if you had something that was like a vivid floral or something, would really show up nice here. I don't know that it would look too great with photos because it does have a shimmer to it, but if you had some sort of filter effect, that might be nice. And again, it will print on both sides. I didn't print anything on the back of this because I wanted to get the good look of the shimmer. So next to that, I have the champagne shimmer. Now I'm going to put them side by side so you can see the slight difference down here. So the champagne here on this side is more of a champagne color. It's kind of a warm, they're both white, but this one is more of a warm white. I wouldn't call it an ecru or an off-white. I would say it's just warmer of a white, more, like I said, champagne, because it's called champagne shimmer. It's got that same sort of satiny finish, but this one, I would say if this one shimmers, the champagne or the white pearl shimmers, I would say the champagne almost sparkles. Now there's no texture to it. There's no glitter or anything, but you can kind of just catch a glimpse in the light of what I mean when I say it's got a little bit of sparkly and shimmer to it compared to the pearl. Right, and then the third one is this metallic silver. Now it's a metallic tone. It's like a silver tone, and it has sort of a bluish tint. It's a very cool silver, but you can see, there we go, kind of get that nice little shimmery look to it. It's really nice for something very formal and very elegant, maybe like a 25th wedding anniversary, a silver anniversary or something like that. These are all the same weight and thickness, it's just the color. It's definitely a color. So you don't want to print something, I wouldn't print the seashell on there because it's gonna turn the seashell a little bit blue. Very luminous, very silky. And again, you can print on both sides. So I printed the navy blue on this side so you can see how nice and shimmery that is. Let's compare that to the ultra thick, which is a matte. So you can kind of see the difference. So the ultra thick doesn't have any shine or shimmer to it, but the metallic one has a little shimmer as you go through it. All right, so those are our papers, our premium and signature papers. And again, be sure to check out that other video where I talk about our standard papers and our budget paper to get a look at those. And I will link all of these products below if you want to go check them out or do a little shopping yourself or look at the different paper styles. Let me know if you have any questions. You can either comment below or you can reach out to me directly through Zazzle and I'll be more than happy to help you out.